Hey YouTube, it's Dad. I haven't made a video in a while, and it's because I just didn't really want to. I've just been really busy, and the focus was on the kid. But I felt the need to make a video now. The weather's nice again. I'm back outside, able to walk. And it's been something I've been putting off for quite some time to make the video. I just don't know what to fucking say. I don't know what to say, man. Things have changed. Things have changed with me. Things have changed in the world. And in fact, I guess that is what I want to talk about. The world. It's like everybody's waiting, sitting around waiting for this this dime to drop, right? Like this situation where you could say the world, oh, that was the moment the world changed. Like, you can't see the forest from the trees, guys. The old world is gone. It didn't just snap and change, right? It fizzled away slowly. You look back over the last 20, 30 years, like, has anybody tried watching a movie from 30 years ago or 25 years ago? There's shit in these that was part of our normal, everyday, comedic life that is so fucking cringe that we watch it now. It's like, how did we ever exist? And so, like, how do we ever exist in this way? Like, how were these the prevailing thoughts of our culture, of our society? And they're, like, gone now. Like, people are so much more accepting now. The world is so much more connected. I remember when I was a kid and, like, you know, strange cultures or different obscure cultures were just such a mystery. You know, and obviously as you get older, you get exposed to more things, and being around and being in New York City, obviously you're exposed to a lot more different cultures. But, like, I don't know, man. When I was a kid, like, Chinese food was like it had a mystique, you know. It's like I picture my grandparents, my grandfather eating Chinese food, and it was just so what's the word? Exotic. It was exotic to him, you know, or like Thai food or Indian food, or, you know, I mean, where I grew up, very whitewashed. So we would talk about these different cuisines, and, like, people would be judgmental about it. Those days are gone, man. Like, I don't know if it's just me or it's just like my perspective has changed over time, but I feel like the prevailing attitude these days, or just the understanding of, like, we are a world culture now. We are a global culture. We've never been more connected than we have become. And a lot of those boundaries, a lot of those dividers have come down. And they didn't just, like, come down. They, like, disintegrated. Like, they melted away. They just faded into obscurity. So what we're seeing now is a lot of reaction for the people that are waking up every day in this unfamiliar place, right? The world is a very scary, unfamiliar place if you're like some old ghoul in a suit. Shit's always been a certain way, you know? You know what they did in the past, and they just kind of sold us down the river. That's what's been going on for the longest time. And it's not just financially, it's culturally. And what I mean by that is that, like, whenever there's a new culture, it gets co-opted and just taken over by ghouls in suits. You know, they find some way to monetize it. They find some way to, you know, And they'll hire, you know, the interns will come on and help them, and they think they're doing good, but really they're just poisoning the well. So anyway, the whole world is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. And the big defining factor is that, like, people realizing that, like, the general, like, average people, and I hate saying average people because I'm going to explain this too a little bit more. You're average in this reality that's been constructed to keep them average. That's why people are pissed off and upset, and that's why, you know, that's why people in their 20s and their college, they get this existential crisis, because it's not just a normal thing. It's manufactured by society. They realize that they're stepping into a world that was designed not only not to serve them, but that is, like, has become outright aggressive towards them. And we're just told to accept it, right? Like, this is just the way it is. And the goalposts keep moving, right? Like, at a certain point, someone's got to open their mouth and fucking say, like, enough is enough, right? Like, with seriousness. Enough is enough with, like, this fucking transfer, this wealth split. I'm tired of these fucking uber rich people, man. And you know what? This world is evolving to not serve them anymore. That's right. In our lifetime, sooner or later, their time is going to be done. People are tired of the celebrity culture. They're fucking over it. What we want is authenticity. Tired of this polished AI, everything polished, fake. It's been like that for fucking so long, and you know what keeps happening? Look at our food, you know? Everything's in this perfect little package, the right colors. It's every, like, systematically designed from every angle to be engineered to just exploit. And now that the data has gotten so big, right? Now that we've been able to collect so much data on humans, that, like, psychology and the understanding of marketing and the way that people work, it's reached its, like, true strongest potential. But it's adverse. It doesn't suit anybody. It doesn't help anybody. Because all along we're, like, feeding money into these people's pockets. It just doesn't fucking do anything. Now, enough is enough. The whole system was built by these billionaires in the Gilded Age, and now here we are again in this Gilded Age. And all the social movements that happen, instead of, that's what they figured out, man. They figured out fucking PR. You know, put your name on a fucking library, and they'll forget that you were people will forget that you broke up their protests. People will forget that you took their movements and co-opted them and took them over and infiltrated them from the inside and made them suit. You morphed them. You fucking changed them to your own good because you had the power, you had the knowledge, you had the skills, whatever. You utilize your powers to manipulate and control other people, to put money in the pockets of a few. No. In our lifetime, that shit needs to change, man. We're all too connected. The capability of just knowing one another is just far, far, far too powerful. And that's why things have intensified so much. It's because as people, right, they lose control and people start to move away from the narrative. And they have to find some new PR tactic. They have to find some new false flag, some new distraction. So, I don't know, man. The world's changing. It has changed. What you're seeing is like, you know, this ghoul in a suit standing on a podium. What you don't see is that, like, he's on the tip of an iceberg and the entire fucking sheet of ice has melted away. And he's just standing on his tippy toes trying to keep his balance, because this world is not the same anymore. The only thing that's keeping it constrained is these last few grips, these last few death throes of this older generation that were raised on the old way that was literally created by billionaires, by Rockefellers and fucking Carnegie's, socially engineered. That's why people like have this existential crisis all the time, man. You wake up one day and you fucking realize, like, someone engineered the way that I am supposed to live my life. They start listing all the specifics. Oh, you're supposed to go to school. Is this really all there is, right? Oh, am I just supposed to grow up and go to school and follow the rules and live the life? No, you're fucking not. You're doing it because fucking somebody engineered it that way, man. You're doing it because somebody engineered it that way. And so now we don't need people to start speaking loudly. We need people to start speaking in unity. The problem is that it's fearful, right? How do you dismantle an entire system and rebuild a whole new one? Are humans even capable of that? It's funny, you know, you look at like the material world and like these great engineering projects and even geoengineering and flying around circling the moon. People don't think that that's impossible. So why is like getting along in unity, why is that impossible? The reason why it's impossible is because there are very few people at the top that have the control, that don't want to allow it to happen. They're fearful. What will the world look like? We're going to lose control. The reality is they already lost control. They can't be controlled anymore. The reality is that this isn't just happening in a societal way. It's astrologically speaking, there are changes in the planets that haven't happened for many, many hundreds of years, in some cases thousands of years. Particular alignments that are going on, and I apologize, I'm no expert on this. So if you do need that information, please the specifics of the information, please go out and seek it out. But, you know, there's the Hopi prophecies, there's all these prophecies surrounding this time, right? Like I guess the Kali Yuga, right? It's just a great turning, and everybody feels it. And it's not just what's happening in our society, it's society is reflected by this great change in the planets. And what's happening is that we're moving away from this material masculine energy, right? This left-brained way of thinking that's prevailed, and that's carried us so far through the Age of Enlightenment. But we spent all the time focusing on the material world. Everything was just like zoom all the way in or zoom all the way out, right? Get a microscope or get a telescope. But there's no, all along, those scientific methods were being used to disprove thousands of years of ancient knowledge of the way that things really are on this planet, in this reality. And like everything that's happened in the last 250 years, from medicine to culture, has been, intentionally or not, separating us from our divinity, from what truly makes us human, from the thousands of years of knowledge that obviously is just too powerful or the people in power don't want it to get out. So that information is going to come out in our lifetimes. That's what we need to be demanding. What are the secrets of history? What has been hidden from us? Why are we being separated from our relationship with God? Who is doing this? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because the ones that do evil are the ones that are the perpetrators. It's not you don't battle evil, right? You just do more good. You just continue to speak the truth. So, one last thing that I want to talk about before I wrap it up is actually turned out to be a pretty okay video, I guess. I love you guys so much. I love humanity. And I want to encourage you to just have as much love as you possibly can. You need to, as we move into this new timeline, be fully in love with yourself. And I think a clear indicator of whether you truly love yourself 100% or not is the opinion that you cast on other people. And so if you have any judgment towards anyone, whether they are a good person or whether they are a bad person, you're supposed to love these people no matter what, unconditionally, because they are having their experience, you know? Even if you're like in traffic and I'm walking on the street and I see a lot of people driving around, it's always just, driving's frustrating. You gotta have love and compassion for your fellow humans. I love ICE. I love Donald Trump. I love Vladimir Putin. I love Israel. I love the people of Israel. I don't like the things that these people are doing. I don't approve of them. But I hold so much love and compassion in my heart that I'm able to feel and understand and try to put myself in their shoes and their perspective, man. How scary of a world is it to these people that have been the engineers of it? They've been, it's all they know. They're the gatekeepers of it, right? They're like the Agent Smiths in the Matrix. I don't respect what they're doing, but I respect that they are living beings with ambitions and with reasons why they want to do things, with fears. And I could have compassion for them. The ICE agents, they're doing a massive injustice to democracy. Going door to door and terrorizing people, deporting citizens and killing citizens. I don't love what they do, but man, am I fucking praying for them. I pray for them. They're gonna have to live the rest of their lives. They're gonna have to go to the afterlife with what they've done. And how they're being the hand of this system, the very system that controls them. They're being the enforcers of. I pity them. I pity Donald Trump. Look how sad he is, shitting his pants, pissing himself, scared and fucking terrified. His ego is all he's got. We're gonna see a reconciliation. There's no coincidence that like 8 billion people are on this planet all at once. We're here to bear witness. We're here for this historic unraveling. And this is a process that has happened for civilizations thousands and thousands of times over. I know I've talked about this before. This is the great trial. This is the great period where we get to decide, does humanity perish or does humanity move on to its next stage? Do we move from a type 0 civilization to a type 1 civilization? Do we learn how to live as one species, as a global species? And yeah, I think there needs to be some type of global governance if that's the way that it's going to be. So, we're in a major crisis. Every day is a major crisis because we're literally at the defining moment in human civilization, our current human civilization. And so are you going to tell me that it's a coincidence that we're all here to watch it happen? We're not. And the question that always comes up is like, well, I have no power. What am I going to do? How am I going to... It's really simple. You do it with your mind, you do it with your spirit. We don't need the loudest voices, we need the most unified voices. We need unity. We need to recognize that there's a system that was built that we were all just fucking following. And it was built adversely to the well-being of people. It was built for a very few. So it's time we start talking about that. I know the world won't come crumbling down. It's already fucking changed. It's already different. We're moving into a reality where the left brain and the right brain are able to coexist. That we could move back into a society that is more maternal and that has more right brain focus. We could focus on spirituality and intuition. And it's exciting because there's so many secrets to be revealed that have been held back from us. Do you think we need fucking to be digging fossil fuels and at this point? Do you think that the farming and agriculture has to exist in the way that it does? The pharmaceuticals, the entire farming industry was built by Rockefeller and the pharmaceutical industry as a way to dispose of petroleum chemicals used in the process to make gas. It's time we demand that the secrets be revealed. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.